Hello everyone, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. How's everyone doing? It's Friday. I tell you what, I am happy it's the weekend. What you're going to be hearing in the background is Michael Nesmith, The Ocean. This came out in 2015 on Pacific Arts Records, which is Michael Nesmith's label. What is it? It's the third part in the trilogy. It started with The Prison in the 70s, and then he did an album called The Garden, and now The Ocean. It's a 2 CD set. The first CD consists of this same music in the background, but with Michael Nesmith reading the book, The Ocean, over it. I listened to it. I probably will never put it in again. It's just kind of cool to have, but I don't really need to listen to Michael Nesmith reading a story. This, though, just the music in the background without the book is actually kind of soothing. It's sort of new agey. So if you like Michael Nesmith, if you like new age music, check out The Ocean. So what I want to do tonight, I want to talk about some of my hard rock and heavy metal cassettes. Now, some of these bands, of course, I know about. Some of these bands I do not know about. So you guys are going to have to help me out with some of these if you know anything about them. The first band, this is one that I don't know too much about. This is a band called Archangel. And this came out on the Portrait label in 1983. I've listened to it a little bit. Very cool stuff, but again, I don't know anything about Archangel. So if there are any huge Archangel fans out there, let me know what you think. Black Eyed Susan, Electric Rattlebone. This was Dizzy Dean Davidson's second band after Britney Fox. He was the lead singer in Britney Fox. And they took more of like a blues approach to the rock and roll. Good stuff. He sort of dropped the whole glam thing. And not a lot of people know about this band, but this is a cool cassette, Black Eyed Susan. That came out on the Polygram label back in 1991. Speaking of Britney Fox, I have Britney Fox's Self-Titled on cassette. I also have this on CD, and I have it on vinyl as well. This is a very underrated album. If you are into the whole 80s hair metal scene, I mean, this is just, you've got Girl School on here, A Long Way to Love, Kick and Fight, Save the Week, Fun in Texas, Rock Revolution, Don't Hide, Goodbye to Jane, great cover, America, and Hold On. It's just a great rockin' album. If you are into 80s hair metal, you got to check out Britney Fox. This was a great debut by them. Bullet Boys, another underrated band. Of course, everybody knows the song Smooth Up In Ya, but this is a great song. This was produced by Ted Templeman, the same guy who would be producing Van Halen. I think they were sort of looked at as hopefully maybe the second coming of Van Halen. They didn't, of course, reach those heights, but a very cool cassette. Here they are in their 80s glory. I have this on CD as well. Bullet Boys are good. They actually, Smooth Up In Ya isn't really even the best song on this album. So very cool stuff. Here's a band that I don't know really anything about either. This is a band called Child's Play, and this was an album called Rat Race. This came out on the Chrysalis label in 1990. I listened to the first couple sides of this, and I really like it. It's good stuff. Again, just typical hard rock, heavy metal. I think as a kid, I didn't really know too much about these bands because this album came out in 1990. So 1990 was sort of like the end of the whole hair metal thing before grunge started. So this was probably like the last gasp effort for these labels to sort of you know, milk whatever money they could out of the whole hair metal scene. But this is a band called Child's Play. Cool album though. This is one of my favorites. Cinderella. Very, very, I would say underrated band in the whole blues rock genre. Unfortunately, they sort of, well, they are, you know, part of the whole hair metal scene, but I think they were so much more than that. Their first album, Night Songs, was awesome. This album is really awesome too, Long Cold Winter. You know, you've got Gypsy Road on here, Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone, The Last Mile, Long Cold Winter, which is a great blues song, Coming Home, Fire and Ice. This is just a great album. Long Cold Winter. Damn Yankees, Don't Tread. I've never actually listened to this. I have the first Damn Yankees album. This one came out on the Warner Brothers label, 1992. So if anybody knows anything about this album, what songs you like on here, we've got Don't Tread on Me, 15 Minutes of Fame, Where You Going Now, Dirty Dog, Mr. Please, Silence is Broken, Firefly, Someone to Believe, This Side of Hell, Double Coyote Uprising. Not sure. But I like Damn Yankees, so I'm sure this is pretty good. Danger Danger. Screw It. This was their second album. Very good stuff. And I have this on CD. So excited to have it on cassette as well. This is what I like about cassettes. You have the fold out. And sometimes you never know how to fold it back together. But there's Danger Danger. Very cool band. Ted Poley on vocals. Very good vocalist. This band was great. Again, they're just typical late 80s, early 90s hair metal, you know, with some blues mixed in there. Really like them. Their first album was good too. Wasn't it the song Bang Bang? Wasn't the song called Bang Bang? I think off the first album? I forget. Oh yes, Dangerous Toys. Such a great album. This came out on the Columbia label in 1989. This was sort of like Guns N' Roses' redheaded stepchild who lived under the basement. These guys were great. The song Teasin' Pleasin', but there's so many good songs. Scared, Bones in the Gutter, Take Me Drunk, Feels Like a Hammer, Sportin' a Woody. That is a classic song. They should play that at the prom. Dangerous Toys, self-titled, great cassette. You ever heard of that band Def Leppard? Got Pyromania. I don't even need to say anything about this. This is a great album. I also love High and Dry, and what's their first album called? Crap, I'm dropping. What is that first album called? On Through the Night. That's great too. After Pyromania, of course, they had Hysteria, which is a great album too, but I sort of like pre-Hysteria better. This is cool. Dakin, Tooth and Nail. Now, I have this on CD. The cassette is a different cover. Check that out. So this is 1984 on Elektra. There's Dakin in their 80s glory. What a great album. Tooth and Nail, Just Got Lucky, Don't Close Your Eyes, Into the Fire, Alone Again. Great album. Great stuff. Dakin, Live. I believe this is the live album. Right? Yep, Beast from the East. This came out on Elektra in 1988. So they do Unchain the Night, Tooth and Nail, Standing in the Shadows, Sleepless Nights, Dream Warriors, Kiss of Death, and so many other great songs. I've actually never, I don't think I have this on CD, so I'm excited to listen to it on cassette. Dakin, Beast from the East. Here's another band I don't know too much about. Any fans out there of Every Mother's Nightmare? This is an album called Wake Up Screaming. 1993 on Arista. House of Pain, Closet Down the Hall, I Hate Myself, Already Gone, Tobacco Road, Slip and Fall. Sound familiar? I'm sure I'm going to like this. Every Mother's Nightmare. Oh, here's a classic band. I'm going to call these guys the Rolling Stones of the hair metal genre. And that would be Faster Pussycat. I believe this was their second album. Their first album's killer, too. This is Wake Me When It's Over. This, of course, had... oh, these songs are so tiny. What was the name of that song? House of Pain. Yeah. But, I mean, this is great. Where There's a Whip, There's a Way. Poison Ivy. Pulling Weeds, Slip of the Tongue. Please Dear. Oh, Please Dear is a bonus track. I wonder if that bonus track is on the CD too. I can't remember. This is a great album. I like the first Faster Pussycat album better, but this is still a killer album. I saw Faster Pussycat live with Winger, Cinderella. There was another band. Faster Pussycat, Winger, Cinderella. I'm drawing a blank on the other one. But they were great. Great White, One Spittin'. And Great White, Recovery Live. I've actually never heard the live album before. One Spittin', of course, yeah. I mean, Lady Red Light, Rock Me, Mistreat Her, Save Your Love. Such a great tape. And then Recovery Live. Never heard this before. This came out in 1987 on Enigma Records. They do the Immigrant Song. Oh, it says 1986. They do the Immigrant Song, Rock and Roll, Money, That's What I Want, Red House, I Don't Need No Doctor. And then 1983, Hard and Cold, Substitute, Street Killer, Bad Boys, Stick It. So, stoked about that. A little Great White Love. And Guns N' Roses, Lies. This was a cool album when it came out because, of course, we all just devoured Appetite for Destruction and just took everything in, like Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, Mr. Brownstone. And then this little album came out, and at first I was like, this is an interesting release, but it's so cool. You have side A, which is the hard rockin' side, Reckless Life, Nice Boys, Move to the City, and their version of Mamakin. And then the B side, of course, was the acoustic side, so Patience, which still, that song is awesome. I love to play that on guitar as well. Used to Love Her, You're Crazy, and One in a Million. So this was great. I always liked the layout of this cassette and CD. It had, of course, the newspaper ads, and then the inside. So very cool stuff. I'm looking at the time of this video. I'm already up to almost 15 minutes. So here's what I'm going to do, because I got more cassettes to show you. So let's call this part, well, see, I already did a video on some of my cassettes way back when. So this is almost kind of like a part 2. So let's call it part 2. And then what I'll do is I'll do a part 3 and then maybe a part 4 of some of my cassettes. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this. And listen, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. I'm hoping to do maybe at least one more video this weekend. This has been kind of a rough week, busy week. I didn't get a chance to do any videos. I saw like it's been 4 days, which is like an eternity for me. Usually I'm doing like a video a day. But you know what? I'm thinking definitely we'll probably at least do another cassette video this weekend. And then, I don't know, maybe I can squeeze out another one. We'll see. But, you know, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And as I always say, listen to music. Adios.